Peace. I greet you with respect and honor. We have made it to day 29. And I don't know about you, but this has been one of the most grueling and difficult negativity fasts ever. It has been a very trying, it has been a very trial ridden and tribulation ridden time. And it just seems like, when you're focused on being the best person you can be, and the more you try to avoid negativity and avoid drama and avoid everything that you're trying to avoid, that's when it seems to come upon you even stronger. So just know that I feel your pain. I know what you're going through. I hope you understand what this whole project is about, what this whole activity is about. But we are halfway through. We have another 30 days to go. And, today I just want to talk about how to keep faith, when life shows its ass, because so often life will show its ass, and in spite of our best efforts, in spite of doing all the right things, there will be people who try your patience. There will be people who just get on your last nerve and test you, and that just goes for all of us. No matter who you are, no one is immune to that. So today I want to emphasize the importance, even more so, the importance of pushing through and finishing what we start. If you find that you often throw in the towel halfway through completion, halfway through finishing things, allow this 60-day negativity fast to be the one thing you complete. And I know it's tough, for some of us working 9 to 5, working 2 and 3 jobs. You have children. For some, some of us are single parents, and some are doing it all alone, and some are just struggling with little money and just trying to make ends meet, just trying to, stretch a dollar. The last thing you have time to do, you think, is to, worry about somebody else, or to finish a damn 60-day negativity fast and to sit down and write out what you're grateful for every day. But I promise you, there is a blessing for you. There is a reward for all of these activities, and something happens. I promise you, something happens when you consistently embed the habit of listing out each and everything that you're grateful for, from the very small mundane to the very large. It enlarges your life, and it adds so much sweetness and beauty to your world. So, again, just push through, try to finish. If you fall off one day and you forget to list out your 5 things that you're grateful for, it's okay. We're going to take this 60-day negativity fast all the way to the end. I'm with you. If you need moral support, if you need someone to talk to, you need someone to vent with, I'm here for you. I'm always available through social media. I'm just an email away. For some of you, you have my phone number. Some of you text me and call me, and I welcome it all. But I'm rooting for you, and we're going to get through this. And all I ask is that you just push through and finish it. So the next 30 days, we have 30 days behind us, or 29 days behind us. But the next 30 days will consist of random acts of kindness. And that's what keeping the faith is all about. You keep faith when life shows its ass through acts of kindness. And so, true greatness consists of being great in little things. So if you can maintain the little things and do little things with greatness, and be agile and elegant in the very little, when you do eventually get to the big, it's like no big deal. You know, it just falls into place. But you have to learn how to be diligent and great with the little things. So this is a time of dire trial and tribulation. I understand. It's just the way the world works. We have a lot going on in this world right now with warfare. We have countries going to war with each other. We have election time. You have the Democrats against the Republicans and the liberals, and you have the the anarchists who want to just bring everything down. And it's just so much going on in the world. Yes, there is police brutality. Yes, there is injustice. Yes, there is homelessness. There's warfare. There are people who are being, victimized and manipulated, and millions of hungry children every day. But we can't focus on that all the time and expect to change the world. So I'm talking about being the spark to changing the world, starting with you and starting with your world and your life. And anytime you're trying to do something of substance and meaning, anytime you attempt to move into a higher stage from a lower stage, you're going to encounter some resistance. That's just a law of physics. Any object at rest will continue to be at rest until something acts upon that object. And just like when something is moving, it won't stop until something acts upon that object to cause it to stop. Well, in that same way, in that same modality, anytime you're operating on a lower vibration and you're trying to move up and elevate and move higher in life, you are going to encounter some type of resistance. And so you have to push past that by continuing to ingrain your habits. That means doing it every single day for at least 60 days until the habit becomes a part of your life. And that's what this is all about. So use this time and this space to pay it forward, to measure success in selfless acts. This is a time where kindness is the philosophy of your life. Think on that and watch how things begin to unfold in your world. Just watch. So often, we invest only in ourselves, and I'm all for investing in yourself, because investing in yourself, as we know, is going to be the best investment you ever make. If you don't invest in yourself, who will? But at the same time, you can't only invest in yourself. It can't only be about you. It's not always about you. So often we only dwell on our problems. And I say focus on looking out for others for a change. Focus on looking out for others. Not because you expect something in return, but because it's the right thing to do. It's a beautiful thing to do. And it's a rare thing to do, because so few people give a damn about anything or anyone outside of themselves. So when you're that rare person who is practicing consistent acts of kindness, you stand out. You stand out. So we're going to talk about acts of kindness. And I know, acts of kindness go above and beyond just giving somebody $1, giving somebody some money. Money is good. Money answers all things. Money is always wonderful, always. And whenever you give money to someone, you always get it back. It always comes back tenfold. Whether you give money to the church, whether you tithe, whether you give offerings, or whether you just loan someone, a couple $100 and you don't expect it back. You don't ask for it back. You don't expect them to pay you back. It's just a gift. That will come back to you. That's a seed. And anytime you plant seeds, it tends to come back at harvest time as more. And so you may sow a seed of $300 or give someone $300, and you may end up with $1,000, or you may end up with a business opportunity or a new job promotion. That's just the way this universe works, and it's a beautiful thing. So I want to show you how to make it really work for you and blossom for you beyond just not being negative, beyond focusing on gratitude, which we're not going to stop. For the next 30 days, we will continue to write in our gratitude journals every day, first thing in the morning. What are 5 things you're grateful for? Who are you grateful for? Why? And remember to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Those 3 magic words just unlock. They unlock the magic. So we're going to make this world a better place by starting with the man or the woman in the mirror. You're going to start with yourself, and you have to spark change. So, as I promised, I said I'd meet you on day 29 with the next 30 days of spirit lifting, uplifting activities to round out our 60-day negativity fast. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We'll continue listing again those 5 things you're grateful for each and every day in your gratitude journal. And stay focused on your goals for your career and your business, your health and wellness, your family, your, love life, all of that. But in the next 30 days, I challenge you to do 30 acts of kindness. Now, you don't have to do the acts that I'm suggesting. You may think of some better, more profound acts, because I'm not saying that I'm the, end all be all best kindness suggester in the world. But I'm just going to give you a couple that I think definitely will bring good karma. It'll bring you good karma. It will bestow beautiful, elegant, vibrational energy, and it will empower you. It will set the stage for you to be blessed and for you to multiply, for your business to be successful, for you to be successful on your jobs, in your career, in your family, in your marriages, in your relationships with your children, with your parents and your grandparents. It will cause the energy to be clean energy wherever you go, so that wherever you go, when you enter a room, you bring a spirit of beauty and not messiness. Do you follow me? So I would recommend you start off, and this one is something that everyone can do, no matter what your financial background. I try to keep in mind that everybody, isn't balling out of control. But if you really want to see stacks on deck, you really want money to roll into your life, I would encourage you to give money. If you have it like that, if you have the money to give. You can give to charities. There are countless thousands of charities that take tax deductible funds, and just, choose your favorite charity, whether it's given to animals, to world peace, to Greenpeace, to children, to the homeless, to whatever you're passionate about. But give money if you have money to give. But if you don't have money to give, there are other things that you can do that will come back to you in beautiful ways, just the same. And I say start with giving a care package to someone who is homeless. Start by giving someone a care package. It can be just a Ziploc bag with, everyday toiletries that we take for granted go a long way when you're living on the street. A toothbrush, some toothpaste, soap, shampoo, deodorant. These things, that you take for granted every day. For someone who's living out of their car it's a blessing. And there are a lot of people who are working poor, who they have a job, and they may have a car, and they may have a place to stay, but they're struggling, and they're living paycheck to paycheck, and they have barely enough food to to be full. You know, they have enough, barely, you know, they're eating, but there's not enough. And so you'd be surprised how just giving a care package of little things that you take for granted and they can appreciate, you know, even down to giving them some toilet paper. You know, a lot of people who are homeless, just giving them some toilet paper, you know, but a care package with toiletries, things that can wash up with. You know, I knew a guy who was homeless. He didn't look homeless. He looked normal. He got clean clothes from the shelter, and he would go wash up in restaurant bathrooms. And he would just, you know, every day he would get up and go to like a local Popeyes or McDonald's or Burger King and wash up in the bathroom. And, you know, I thought to myself, like, if someone like him is out here, how many other people are out here who could benefit from just somebody giving them, you know, a care package? And so often we think, well, you know, I can't help this person, you know, but even giving a little goes a long way. And even if you can't do a lot, you can do something. And if we all do something, if we all do our little part, it all goes a long way. So, you know, imagine if all 250 plus of us are doing little things, how much energy and good karma and just compassion and love and kindness go out, you know, into the world, and how we're changing the world and mobilizing and bringing about positive change and galvanizing our communities with positive, beautiful kindness and compassion. Give a care package. Make dinner for a local firefighter. You know, I know a lot of us, we don't appreciate the civic workers in our communities, but they really do put their lives on the line. And, you know, they get paid, but how kind and how awesome is that for you to make dinner for them, you know, and take them dinner to your local firefighters. Or if you don't want to make them dinner, you can go buy them dinner, like you know, get dinner catered to them, and, you know, for no particular reason, but just as an act of kindness. What that does for your community, because you never know when it's your house that's going to be on fire and you need them to come out and save your ass, you know. Give someone a hug. 7 hugs a day. 7 hugs a day is the bonus. But give someone a hug. And I'm not just talking about your boo or your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, I'm talking about a perfect stranger, a coworker, someone that you work with who you just see them on a day-to-day basis and you say hi to them. Give them a hug. 7 hugs a day is the bonus, though. Try to do 7 hugs a day and watch what happens. You'd be surprised how some people, your hug will be the only hug, the only physical compassion and embrace that person has probably received all day, and how it will uplift their spirit. And by uplifting their spirit, it will uplift your spirit. Donate a pair of shoes. How often do we think, they've never walked in my shoes? You know, no one has walked in my shoes. They don't know what I've been through. Well, give someone a taste of your blessings, you know. And I'm not talking about beat down shoes you don't want anyway and you're ready to throw them in the trash. I'm talking about shoes that are in good condition. The soles are in good condition. They're still relatively decent looking shoes. You just don't wear them anymore for whatever reason. They're last season, or, you know, they might pinch your toes or whatever. But donate a pair of shoes. Allow someone to walk in your shoes, because you've been blessed and you've worked hard and you've earned so much for yourself. And I know you've worked hard for everything you have. But how about, you know, you give someone a taste of what it's like to be blessed and to have some of the finer things in life that you have. I'm not saying, again, you don't have to give up your Jimmy Choos, you know, you don't have to give up your red bottoms, but donate a pair of decent shoes. You can donate them to a local charity or the Goodwill or, something like that, Salvation Army. But donate a pair of shoes. Donate a book to someone who would totally appreciate it and benefit from it. Donate a business book or a self-help book or a memoir that you think would touch this person. There have been so many times where I've been reading a book and I think to myself, wow, this person would really enjoy this book, or I could see how this book would touch them because they're going through this. And if it brought this person out in this book, they, were okay at the end. I know this person who I know, they'll be all right in the end too. And they need to know that. And sometimes just something as simple as handing them a book is a huge, powerful, beautiful gesture. So donate a book to someone who would totally appreciate it. Spend the whole day complimenting every person you speak to. Find the good. Find the good. Seek out the beauty in people. So often we spend so much time throwing shade at people and talking bad about people, talking down on people, clowning, joning. But how often do we just compliment people genuinely? And I'm not saying be fake about it and have to, make up something, but everybody has something that you can compliment them on. It can be their haircut. It can be their eyes. It can be a blouse they're wearing. Just spend the whole day complimenting people, speaking life, speaking beauty, speaking good, finding the beauty in people and situations. Even if it's not anything physical about them, it could be the way they handled something. It could be the way they, their outlook on life. You can compliment them on that. Like, you know what, Joe, you are always just so positive no matter what people are going through. You always, are like that dude who just comes to their rescue. You just like to rescue people. And I just want you to know I respect that about you. I respect you, and, you're a good person and you should know that. And it's that simple. It's really, really simple. But it goes a long way because so few people do it. And we think, I don't want to sound like I'm kissing her ass or kissing his ass, or they're going to think I want something from them. No, they won't. They'll just respect you a little more. Because you know what? Ironically, you get more bees with honey. So the more you are a source of happiness to people, the more people want to be around you. No one wants to be around someone who's negative all the time or always bringing people down. No one wants to be around negative Nancy, who's just a funky, stinky, dark cloud wherever she goes. You want to be the person who, when you enter a room, you bring a fragrance of joy and happiness, and you make people feel better than you found them. So, compliment people. Buy someone dinner. Or it can be, you don't have to take them out to dinner. You can give them a gift card, or you can just give them $20 and say, you know what, this is for you and your family or whatnot. This is for you and your daughter or your son or whatnot. Go and get you something to eat. It's just this act of kindness thing I'm doing with my mentor. Enjoy it. I don't want anything in return. And they'll understand. They'll be like, oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you. Because again, you'd be surprised. Some people are really going through it and they don't look like it. You can't tell, but they're going through it. So buy someone dinner. Read to a child. I know we're rounding out the school year. And for many of us, the school year will be ending in the next, 2 or 3 weeks, or the next month. It's not too late. Some schools I know have after school programs and different Saturday programs and things like that, where you can read to a child. You can find elementary level children, and you can read to a child if you don't have your own children. If you have your own children and you read to them all the time, well, scrap that. Don't worry about it. Don't do it. But for those of you who don't read to your children, read to your child. Start there. Read to your child. If you don't have your own children, read to someone else's child. Find somebody's kids and read to them, but read to a child. So few people read to kids, and kids love to be read to. Kids love to be read to. They love to hear stories. I know this for a fact. So read to a child. Spend a day at a food pantry and prepare food to feed the hungry. Feed the hungry. Tweet or Facebook a kind message of kindness and compassion to 3 people. Tweet or Facebook message, whichever is your preference, to 3 people. And it doesn't have to be a 4-page letter. It can just be 2 or 3 sentences of kindness and compassion to 3 people. And watch what happens. Spend a day at the homeless shelter. Volunteer your time. Volunteer your time. Spend a day at the homeless shelter. It can be 2 or 3 hours or 3 or 4 hours. You can feed the hungry. You can hand out items to people. There are so many activities at the homeless shelter. I've spent so much time at the homeless shelter, and I can tell you firsthand, it is one of the best feelings you will ever feel. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to put shit into perspective for you. And you're going to feel so grateful. You have not experienced gratitude until you have spent time in a homeless shelter and you see what these people really have to go through. And sometimes it's no fault of their own. You know, some of them, there's mental illness there. Sometimes they're psychotic and they can't keep a job, or they don't have family for whatever reason. But, you know, many people are one paycheck away from being homeless. One paycheck, one accident, one life event can happen and your whole world can be turned upside down. So don't ever, be too high up on your high horse, and don't ever think that it can't happen to you, because things happen in life. Sometimes life happens. People who've gone through divorces and found themselves losing everything. But different situations, God forbid, but different situations land people in just terrible spaces and places in their lives. And, we hope that none of us has to experience it. But I will say again, just spending some time in the homeless shelter will put things into perspective for you, and you're doing an act of kindness and you're giving back to your community at a very grassroots level on the ground. And that's one of the best hands-on ways of giving back you can possibly think of. Tutor a kid in math, science, or whatever your strong suit is. So, if you're really strong in math and science, and there's a kid who's struggling and going through it, tutor them, work with them, even if it's just for a day or two, and just help them and give back and give them some guidance. If your strength is social studies or writing essays or editing, help them with their little essays or whatnot, but tutor a kid. Offer to do laundry for a friend who's going through a difficult time. Sometimes when you're going through it, you don't even want to wash your own ass, let alone your laundry. So find somebody who they're going through it, and they're going through tough times and they're struggling, and offer to just do their laundry. Offer to come by their house and wash dishes for them and help straighten out, and just listen, just be there. Just be a source of support and a strong tower. Sit on the sofa and just listen to them. Let them cry, let them vent, let them rant. Say, you know what? I'm gonna do your laundry. I'll fold your socks and your shirts, and I'll wash your dishes, and just be there for them. You don't have to offer them any kind of guidance or telling them what they should do unless they ask, but just do their laundry and be a friend. Pay for Starbucks. or a lunch sandwich for the person behind you. But the limit on that one is $5. So if you go to Starbucks a lot, and you know there's someone behind you, standing behind you, tell the cashier, I'm paying for that person's drink, so here's $5 for the person behind me, and just walk out. You know, you don't have to tell them, look, this is what I did for you. They'll find out, but just pay for their Starbucks. Or if you don't go to Starbucks, you go to Dunkin' Donuts, or you go to Panera, or whatever is your local coffee house. Pay for the person behind you. Pay it forward. Put your phone away sometimes. Sometimes just giving somebody the dignity and the respect of listening to them and giving them eye contact and actually be here now. And that's going to require you putting your phone down. You know, whatever it is on the phone can wait. That tweet can wait. That text message can wait. You don't always have to take a picture of every single meal, and every single experience in your life does not have to be snapped and recorded. And just put your phone away sometimes. And, you know, because guess what? For hundreds and thousands of years, we lived without phones and we survived and we were fine. So you don't always have to have your phone with you. You know, it's so sad sometimes. I see people, they can't even enjoy a meal together. They can't even enjoy an experience together without just constantly texting. And I understand if you're a busy person and your phone must be glued to you. You just require to have it all the time. I understand. But, you know, just take some time some days and put your phone away and actually give someone the benefit and the respect of listening to them, speaking to them, and hearing them without texting and tweeting and Snapchatting and checking your Instagram and taking pictures of everything. You know, just put your phone away sometimes. Offer a homeless person your restaurant leftovers. And a bonus would be if you actually buy them a plate. Buy them a plate. So, you know, the next time you go to have your Jamaican rice and peas, or you go and have your wings or whatever it is you have, and you know you're not going to eat it all, go ahead and to give those leftovers to that homeless guy outside who's hungry and begging for coins. Just go ahead and offer him your food, because you probably aren't going to eat it anyway, and he can use it a lot more than you can. Email or write a teacher who made a difference in your life. This is extremely cathartic. I've done it before, and it actually brought tears to my eyes. And that teacher told me it was the sweetest thing that she'd ever experienced, and she really did. That particular teacher actually changed the trajectory of my life. I don't know where I would be had it not been for this teacher. She totally changed my life and the lives of all of the children at that time in my grade. And I just had to find her and reach out to her and let her know that. So find that teacher who made the difference in your life, whether it's your 4th grade teacher or your 2nd grade teacher or your 9th grade teacher, that one person who understood you and they just got it. They just got you. Email them, find them on LinkedIn, find them on Facebook, whatever. Go back to the old school and find their information and write them a letter and let them know that they made a difference in your life, because you owe it to them and they need to know it, and you're going to feel good about it. And you may just make their entire day, their entire year actually. So compliment someone to their boss. So often we're ready to run to Yelp and write a 1-star review for how bad the service was. How about you compliment someone to their boss? Give them a 5-star review to their face and to their boss. And the bonus would be to write whatever that company CEO is, write that company CEO or email that company CEO and compliment that person to their company CEO. Because imagine what that's going to do for their career. Imagine what would happen if somebody wrote a email or a letter to your company CEO and said, you know, she was outstanding. She gave outstanding customer service and support. She helped me. That woman or that guy deserves a raise and a bonus, and they need to be promoted because they have exceptional work ethic and customer service skill. Imagine what that would do for your career. Imagine how that would play out for you. So do that for someone else, and you'll be surprised because it might just turn around and work for you. Smile at people just because. You know, my mother used to say, you know, be careful. You be careful how you hold your face, because it might get stuck like that, right? Your face might get stuck that way. And if it's gonna get stuck, you want it to get stuck with a smile and not a resting bitch face. I don't know where that came from. Being cool to have a resting bitch face, to just look mean all the time. It's not cool, ladies. It's not pretty. It's not cute. It really isn't. Smile. We all look much better when we smile. I mean, you don't have to look psychotic with this fake plastered on smile, but just smile. Smile at people. Just smile, you know. Leave a nice server the biggest tip you can afford. Whatever's the biggest tip you can afford, because I assure you, you know, most food service waitresses and waiters, they don't make very much money. A lot of times they make, you know, a couple dollars an hour plus their tips, and a lot of times they depend on those tips, and those tips go a long way. Leave them the biggest tip you can afford. If you can only afford $20, leave a $20 tip. If you can afford a $200 tip, leave a $200 tip. If you can afford it, but leave the biggest tip you can afford. Now this one is a bonus one. This is this is gonna be closing out the 60-day negativity fast, these last few. But reach deep down inside of yourself and humble yourself. And I challenge you to wash someone's feet. This is the height of humility. The height of humility. Now, it could be your mother. It can be your father, your grandmother. It could be your sister. It could be your husband or wife. But find someone and wash their feet. Offer to wash their feet. Okay? Again, this is the height of humility. This is humbling yourself. It's a very humbling experience, but I promise you, the rewards will be abundant. You know, there's a scripture that says, you know, he who is the last of us, the least of us, will be the first. And so that's saying, you know, if you can humble yourself, you actually are greater than people even who have grandiose titles behind their names, because they're too haughty to do something like that. But if you can humble yourself enough to wash someone's feet, you are preparing yourself for tremendous blessings to pour into your life. And again, I challenge you to dig deep from these. Forgive someone who broke your heart. Forgive them and never bring up the issue again. Now, if you want to write a Dear John letter, if you want to write a letter forgiving them, write a letter. If you want to write an email, write an email. If you don't want to write anything, you just decide in your heart that you're going to forgive them. Find someone who broke your heart, whoever it is. And this is going to require you to be a big person. This requires you to dig deep and be a big person. This isn't for everyone. Everyone can't forgive that person who broke their heart. So I understand if you feel like this is something you just cannot do. But again, forgive someone who broke your heart and never bring up the issue ever again. Help a mother with her stroller. If you see a woman, in the parking lot trying to get her stroller out or trying to put her stroller back in, or if you see an older person who's trying to get their groceries in their car, or just kind of struggling, help them. Spend a day at an old folks home or a retirement home and play some board games with them, because again, so often you may be the only person who's come to visit that person. So often we throw our elders away. We throw them away and we never go back to distill some of the wisdom from them that only they can provide. And a bonus would be make a video of that experience. So spend a day at an old folks home or a retirement home. Find one that allows you to actually, explain to them, I'm doing a 60-day negativity fast and 30 days of random acts of kindness. And one of the activities requires me to spend a day here. If there's a way, I can spend some time with someone, an elder, and play board games with them or eat with them or what have you, am I allowed to do that? And you find a place and you do that. And the bonus again will be if you make a video, talk to them, listen to those elders, because they have so much wisdom and knowledge that they can partake that you can't get from a book. You can't get it from a blog. You can't Google it. It comes from experience. Someone who's lived 90 years, someone who's lived 85 years or 100 years, they have a lot they can teach you. And so just spend some time with them. And they're lonely and they're on their way out. They are on their way out, and so what a wonderful, wonderful, pleasant treat that would be if you were 85 or 90 years old and you just feel like, any day now I'm probably gonna die, and some young person comes and spends the day with you and plays games with you and talks to you and listens to you and laughs with you. What a pleasant treat that would be. So spend a day at an old folks home or a retirement home. Become a big brother or a big sister. If you really want this to be a lasting, habitual activity that becomes a part of your life and you have the time to do it, become a big brother or a big sister. It doesn't require you to spend a whole lot of money. It just requires your time, especially if you're someone who's fresh out of a relationship and you pretty much aren't doing anything with your time anyway. Become a big brother or sister. Give away free stuff on Craigslist or to the Goodwill. And the more stuff you give away, the better. And I can tell you, I just got to tell you, I did this recently. Every 6 months, we clean out our closets and we give away all of our old stuff that we're no longer using. Old toys, my son's old toys, old books, old shoes and clothes, things from the garage and the attic. Just give away stuff that you don't need anymore. Again, things that are in working condition. It is going to free up so much energy because the universe hates a void. So when you create a void in your life, it's almost like I tell a lot of people, if you're looking for that special someone in your life, like ladies, if you're looking for that special someone and you're single and you're tired of being single, create a void for that person. That means clear out your garage on one side because you're saying to the universe, I'm ready for that special someone to be parked in this parking space. So make space for them. Clear out a whole side of your closet because you're making space, you're making room and a void for that special someone to one day be living in that house with you and for them to have their stuff on the other side of the closet. You clear out some space on the sink for them to have their toothbrush, in the little toothbrush holder. But the universe loathes and abhors a void, and so it always replaces. So when you make room in your closet and make room in your home by clearing it out, that old energy is cleared out and you're making room for new energy and you're making room for new beautiful things to occupy that space. Again, this is another one that's going to require you to dig deep. Dig deep and sincerely, genuinely compliment your boss. And I know for some of you, this is a huge challenge. It's something you just cannot see yourself doing. But I promise you, again, this requires you to be a big person, and you will reap the rewards. You will reap the rewards. Compliment your boss. Get them a card. Tell them you appreciate them. These are the reasons why you appreciate them, but be genuine about it. Make breakfast in bed for your partner or your spouse or your parents if you're not married or you don't live with your husband or partner or whatever the situation is, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you call yourselves. Then make breakfast in bed for your parents, but make breakfast in bed for someone who you genuinely care about and love. Breakfast in bed. Spend some time and babysit for a single mother for free. So often single mothers just have it so hard. Sometimes it's their fault, sometimes it's no fault of their own. But offer to babysit for a single mother so she can spend some time for herself. And it can be a matter of you taking the kids to Chuck E. Cheese and, hanging out with them, or going to their house and Netflix and popcorn and, hanging out. But babysit for a single mother for free. And last but not least, send some anonymous flowers to the receptionist at your job. If you don't have the kind of job that has a receptionist, send anonymous flowers to someone in a position who they're not really seen as really high up on the totem pole, but you appreciate them, and let them know you appreciate them. Send them a bouquet of flowers. You don't have to, you don't have to do long stem red roses, but just send some flowers, anonymous. Don't say it was from you, just anonymous. So that's gonna round out our 60 days of no negativity, no drama. We're not focused on the pains and the ails and the ills of the world. We are focusing only on positive, uplifting things. And so I leave you with that. And I hope that this changes your life. I hope you can finish strong and push all the way through to the end. And I will talk to you and see you later on this week. Peace and blessings. Be well.